Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey y'all, this is a bit of a tutorial / project share for all of those snowflake cards that I recently made. I've shared them on Saturday Morning Makes and just kind of wanted to show you my process. So these are some of the gel plate pulls that I pulled out to play with, and these are some of the stamps that I pulled out. Just trying to decide which direction to go and to get my mojo flowing. And yeah, so I decided, as you can see on that big bold snowflake on the right from Colorado Craft Company, and I'm trimming down my very first gel plate print. And guys, this one was really hard for me to use, but I'm so glad that I did. So I can't encourage you enough. Let me encourage you. Use those gel plate pulls. Use those backgrounds that you've created. Use your stuff. Use your pattern paper. We do things and we buy things and then we just sit on them and we don't use them. Gosh, guys, use them. I can't encourage you enough. Yeah. So I did not use all of the pulls that I had out in the beginning. Those were just some that kind of sparked me as I was flipping through them, and so I pulled them out just to see kind of what would inspire me as I got started. So you can see this one actually was a roll-off. I mean, you can't see that it was a roll-off, but you can see that I'm moving forward with my process. I am simply stamping in Versamark ink and using a variety of different embossing powders and just coordinating those powders to each print. And yeah, some are contrasting. Obviously, some are more similar, more monochromatic. Yeah, I just go with the flow, choose in that moment whatever makes sense to me, and just allow those creative juices and that creative process to kind of move me forward. And so this gel plate print was actually with alcohol ink, and it has such a different look than when you use regular ink or acrylic paint. It's just such a different look. And this one actually was unicorn spit. If y'all aren't familiar with unicorn spit, I would say don't use it on your gel plate. Didn't have great results with that, but that is what this particular plate was, and that is a brick wall stencil that I created it with. But once I get everything done, you cannot tell that that's a brick wall. And this particular embossing powder, as well as the blue one that I used earlier and the green that's up there in the top left, those are all from Brutus Monroe, and they're called Night Shift. And they shift color depending on the light and the way the light hits them. They go from black to whatever the color is. So you can see I've got the blue, I've got the green, I've got the purple. And they shift. I've also got a red one, I believe. I know I have more than those three. So there it is. You can see it's blue and then it's black. And then, of course, that one's the silver. Love the grunge. Oh, my heart. Yeah, they're so good. And that one is rose gold, and then of course this is white. That purple one I think is called mulberry, and I can't remember what that green one is called. I think it's just green. That's the mulberry again. And I used a lot of the mica stains to do some splattering on the background. I also used I just kind of used whatever was on my desk at that time. So I also had my Yuli watercolors out, and I had my Gonzai Tombi watercolors out. So I just used a lot of those to do the splatter. Now these are not my favorites, but there they are. They're ones that I got started on off screen. Thought I had my camera rolling, but I did not. But I end up finishing those, and I'll show them in the end. But this is my process moving forward. So I'm using or doing a little bit of, what is it called? It's not selective, partial die cutting. Partial die cutting. So I wanted to use this particular die because it has a diagonal stitch, and I like that element, but it was a little bit too big for my panel. So I just did 3 sides. I put it back in the die cut machine and rolled it through again just to get that 4th side, and easy peasy. Now it did create like a little hitch there on the bottom. You can see that, but I trimmed that down in the with my die cut. So you can see that this one looks great, and then this one has that little hitch. So I trimmed that down in the paper cutter. Did I say die cut machine? Obviously not. It's the paper trimmer. So these pulls are just on copy paper, so they're very thin. So I did not want to use a whole lot of glue to adhere it down, but I wanted something more than the tape. So I just used, well, you can see. Well, I guess not. I just used the liquid glue, and I didn't use a lot of it, but it adhered everything down perfectly. So this is, it's like is it jute? I'm not sure what this is. A hemp cord maybe that's made into these laces. And then down the middle and on both sides is, I thought it was wire, but it's just stiff. I guess it's just a stiff hemp. And so I cut that in half to make the trim down here on the bottom. So one of them has stiff on the top and the bottom. And then this one, of course, just has the stiff on the bottom. And then it has the loose strands, if you will, on the top. Now I could have put something down between the gel plate print and the loose bits there, the loose strands, but I just chose not to. I knew that I was going to put these Happy Christmas die cuts there, and I just thought that that would be really all I needed to kind of bridge that, even though they're loose ends. I'm not mad about it. But you definitely could. You could do a brown, you could do white, you could do blue, you could do whatever you want to kind of bridge that if in your creative process you felt that was needed. So this specialty paper is from Michaels. I have just created a frame using my stitched rectangle dies, and then I layer, or I inset the gel plate print panel into that frame. And here I found some buttons in my stash that coordinate really well with this color scheme, and just feeding a little bit of some, it's a waxed, I guess it's a baker's twine, or maybe it's a bookbinding twine. I'm not sure, but I've had it forever. And yeah, just stitching it or sliding it through. One made a bow, one made just kind of a knot on the background. And then here I'm using these beautiful, beautiful sequins from This Calls for Confetti. But stay tuned, because in classic Nancy form, there we go. That's classic Nancy right there. Wah, wah, wah. And yeah, I have to clean all that up, and you know, whatever. It's okay. It's part of the process, crafting in real life, right? Now on these, the layout is completely different. I use some Snowflake die cuts, as you can see, and I've got my little words cut out again. Those are from Pink Fresh Studio. Very, very old. At least they're old to me. I have no idea if they're still available. My guess is no. But yeah, I think they're called classics or something like that. I'll try to list them down in the description box. But these two tone-on-tone neutral ones just have my heart. I think they're so much fun. I love that little scalloped edge on the left, and I love the lace. I love the brown and white. Love it. Now the top one has a rose gold. I was trying to tell you the name of the color earlier. It's rose gold. And then this white is from Brutus Monroe. It's alabaster white. The rose gold, I think, was a wow. And then these little Merry Christmas tags. Super cute. The sentiment is from Simon Says Stamp. The tag dies are from Whimsy. And then I decided, let's keep going with this kind of homespun feel of these, and let's add some more lace. And then I didn't have buttons, but I have these fun little snowflakes from Amazon. I don't know if it was Anna White or if it was Jill Norwood, but one of them turned me on to those from Amazon, and I picked me up a little package, and there's quite a few in the package, and I love that kind of rusty look to them. But they're wood, and they're pretty thick, y'all. It seems to me like there's 2 layers that are adhered. They're all the same, but I can't break them apart to save my life. So, but it's okay. I love them. I think they're the cutest, and I've had a good time adding them to as an element to different projects this year. I understand there are some hearts that have that same vibe to them. I also have some stars. The stars are tin, the snowflakes are wood, but the stars are a little bit too big, I think, for card making. But there they are. Now, using these blue ones, I wanted to get a blue trim, and this whole bundle of trims came from Michaels. It was part of their fall collection this year, and I don't use a whole lot of blue in my fall decor and crafting, but I love these blues for this. I'm not a big blue girl, but I started out making these cards at my son's request, and so he loves blue, and he wanted some of these to be in blue. He wanted blues and purples and grays and those more cool wintry tones, you know. So that's what I'm going with here, and I'm just creating a frame. I'm lifting up this scallop frame. I didn't want to make a shaker. I didn't want to do anything incredibly fancy. I just wanted some dimension, and I wanted that frame to frame out that the print with the stamped snowflake, and I just trim off any excess. I did use a panel of the specialty blue cardstock. That, again, that specialty paper, the silver, the blue, the pink. I don't know what other colors I might use, but it's all from Michaels. And this silver panel is the negative of the scallop frame. So I'm mounting this panel to that, and that creates a nice little edge as well. And then I just finished layering it up, and just simple. Just all of them are really quite simple. There's lots of elements on some of them, not all of them, but some of them. But even in that, it's just, you just add what you want that suits your eye, you know, that makes your heart happy during your crafty process. So with this one, I use this Spellbinders embossing folder. I don't know why I have so much trouble with that term, embossing folder. But unfortunately, my panel itself that has the snowflake and whatnot, it's a little too big, and you don't see a whole lot of the embossing folder. But it's still beautiful, and when you hold it up close and you look at all the details, you can see it back there. But I'm just using a little bit of double-sided adhesive to stick this trim down. Again, it's the blue on white. I finally was able to choose one, and then I'm going to adhere this white panel down onto my card base, and the rest of the snowflake panel onto this. I don't know why I tend to put, if I have an element like that, I tend to put them on the left. But there are both of those blue ones that I just finished up. I think they're very pretty. Very fun. And these two, y'all, I can't. They're my favorite. I haven't been able to give them away. I don't know if I will. And to be honest, that's okay. Do you have some that you've made, whether it's cards or otherwise, that you just can't bring yourself to give away? Yeah, I love these, but those can find a home. This one can find a home. I showed this one in the beginning, but I did not show adding that joy on there. The joy is from Simon Says Stamp. I think it was from Stamp Timber a couple years ago. And then these two are with the alcohol ink gel plate pull. And I love that it's purple and green. Like, who uses purple and green at Christmas time? I don't know. I'm sure somebody does. But anyway, I don't. But they're fun. And then these two also have my heart and will not be going to anybody else. But y'all, this was 6, almost 7 hours worth of footage cut down to 14 minutes. I know I sped through it like a mad woman. I apologize. If you have questions, if you want to see anything slowed down, please let me know. I'm open to kind of expanding on any parts that y'all might want. But until next time, guys, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. I wish you the merriest of Christmases and the happiest of holidays. Mwah! I'm out.